Welcome back to my channel. This is my clever idea. I have a 4,000 pound come along cables running to my front sub rails and my John Deere tractor. Let's see what that does, if it straightens it out. Fingers crossed. Just take it nice and easy. It's moving my tractor. Whoa! Well, I was not expecting that. I got my handbrake on my John Deere tractor and it started moving when I started cranking the come along. Let's see if it starts straightening out a little bit more. Good thing I got at the gym. I didn't want to straighten the front frame rails. I just wanted enough space where I'm able to get my hands to get bolts. And I can remove this front frame rail. But the idea worked great, I believe. I do know that there's other tools out there that would be much better. But this for, I believe it was like about $35 US wasn't a bad idea. I mean, there are other kits out there for hundreds of dollars, which I will get eventually with other vehicles, but I wanted to try that out to see how it did, and it did pretty well. Besides moving my tractor about 1 or 2 feet away. Hi Matrix. Hi Baba. So I'm able to get the bolts out. This one came out. This one, I believe there's a nut broken behind it inside the frame. It's no big deal because it can still slide out. And then got, oh, where did it go? Those two out there. There's one underneath, so with a couple of good smacks this should actually slide out. It is moving out, waking it up and down, left and right. And I did not see this one. I did not see that bolt. Oh, damn it. Whoops. Good news is I did remove that bolt. Bad news is, came with the casting. So remember on the first episode I said that there was damage? And that's where it was, right there. So hopefully I'm able to get this welded. Seems like cast aluminum. Not too sure. Trying to find out. But that was the part that was broken. And the bolt doesn't look too good as well. It looks a bit, how do you want to say, squiff. It's got a bend to the left or right, whichever you want to look at it. Ready to go on top, boy? It's been a long night, hey. Remember this bolt? Well, behind there's a nut that actually broke away from the weld, and all it was doing was just spinning, and these ones came out and so did the ones in the back. And I'm wondering why this is not pulling out. I thought it was a slide kind of thing where you can position it in place. Looks like a slide kind of fitting. So that's why I didn't really bother too much about this. I was looking at OEM replacement ones that are actually round holes. So what I decided to do is get a screwdriver, stick it in the back there to hold the nut to the back, and take my spanner and loosen it. So hopefully this is now all disconnected and should be able to come out. Nothing is holding this. Come on, will you get out? Hey, Hey, yes! Okay. Oh, two of them broke. Now I do have to remove this whole front support over here. And there's a couple of nuts and bolts in the ground wire for the whole car. So we're going to get to that because I really got to get to this radiator support brace. All these things here. But I already loosened that side. This side is just a little bit on there. So I just got to loosen a couple more things. And this should come all off into one piece. Great thing about disassembling a vehicle is you get to see what's going on and what wires go where and why they do. I mean, this box is it's a fuse box. Huh, okay, that's pretty handy. This is definitely a learning experience. I'm learning a lot about this vehicle. And that's what it's all about, working on damaged vehicles. I've loosened most of the nut. I've lost that one. Loosened a lot of nuts and bolts already on this side. So there's just a couple of things I've got to disconnect from this area here. And then this should be able to come off as one piece. If I can find that nut. One thing I do have to say, I'm pretty surprised that they've been using metric tools. Not standard, which is pretty handy. This is the ground strap for the whole vehicle. I've disconnected the battery in the trunk. I've locked myself out of the trunk, but I'll be able to get back in. Still looking for that nut that dropped. Where'd it go? It's somewhere around. I'll find it. That's a ground strap. Now what I always do, I'll put all the nuts and the bolts back where they came from, so I don't lose them or I gotta order new ones. I mean, some of these parts aren't exactly cheap. I mean, a bolt can cost you $10, no problem. Most of the time, you've got to whack things back into place so you can access the nuts and the bolts. This area here. That should give me better access. Remember, when you're going to be removing the upper radiator support, make sure that all the wire harnesses are all disconnected from the frame. Also, underneath the radiator support, there are a lot of pesky, annoying wire clips. Make sure you get them all out. Remember those zip ties that I put on? I forgot to cut them. They happen. It happens. These little clips are so annoying. They're so annoying. That's what was holding me up underneath here. So many of them. Of course there's one more. Why wouldn't there be one more? Stupid clip. I'm not going to be throwing out the upper radiator support just yet, as I noticed there are a couple of sensors that I'm going to need. They have OEM part numbers which will be handy to get replacements for. Okay, that did take a little bit longer than expected, but the top radiator support is off. These clips really didn't help me that much, but I did order an air conditioning vacuum pump that should be able to remove the R134 refrigerant from the condenser itself, and then I'll be able to remove this whole radiator assembly. So I've got to remove all that. So these lines are damaged. I'm going to have to get brand new ones, which is no big deal. There's a lot of pipes over here that I do need to get replaced. I am seeing damage, but we are moving in the right direction. This is great to see. You can see how much space now I have to get to parts and wires and missing pieces and stuff like that, and see how much actual damage there is. But honestly, it doesn't look that bad right now. It does look like a mess, but once this radiator support is out of here, you'll be able to see the whole engine, all the wires, all the damage. So just waiting for the air conditioning pump removal system, whatever they call it, to arrive, and I'll be able to get this whole system all vacuumed out and saved. You cannot just go and release R134 into the atmosphere. You get a fine for it. I don't want to get a fine, and also it's very harmful to the environment, so I don't want to do anything like that. I mean, I want to be as safe as possible, though I'm not using gloves. Which brings me to another point. Don't be afraid not to use gloves. I made the mistake of not using gloves. With these sharp edges, they can be knuckle dusters. You can get really badly cut. Also, you can get splinters from the metal shavings. They are all throughout this whole motor from the crash. It's been a couple of days since I ordered the parts I need to finish this Cadillac. How long is it going to take? Wait, what's that? What you got there, boy? Bubs, tools to finish the Cadillac. What I didn't realize when I was putting the front side rails with the tractor, I was actually pulling the car to the side off of the ramp. Yes, I can move the forks a little bit closer to the Cadillac to support it better, but I want to make sure that the Cadillac is secure in the center of the hoist. So that's why I purchased these, so I'll be able to move the Cadillac side to side, and that should be good for that. Also for other vehicles as well, I'd really need these. What this ingenious invention allows you to do, instead of jacking up the vehicle to get a dolly underneath the tire, you can just pump up the tire, or pump up this pump, and actually lifts the tire off the ground. Pump it up, pump it up.
Yeah, let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest.
In the last episode, if you remember, I had a hard time trying to find the correct tool for these rims. I was able to find it, and you can see it fits perfect. Purchased a whole set on Amazon. Now with the tire and rim out of the way, I'm able to get a much better look at all the parts and access them all. And that's quite a bit of space. Is that a two-piece brake rotor? I've never seen one before, but it's going to be my first of many. Brake pads look good, and this is a V. But look how I can get to so much. I can get to so much better access now. Same with this side. Look how much space now. You can see a lot more of the vehicle. A lot more, much better. And see what's up with these shock absorbers. There's a two-piece brake rotor again. I have to get rid of this front radiator assembly. I thought it was okay, but it's broken there, as well as underneath. But now with everything mainly out of the way that I need, I can get to it. Matrix, look how exciting this is now, boy. We're gonna get all the fluids out. You wanna give me a hand? Give me a hand, Baba. Come on, boy. No? Okay. Rest. Now that I have the Cadillac all raised up on the hoist, let's take a look underneath. This is going to be my first time looking underneath with you guys and seeing what kind of damage there is. Everything looking good so far. Now I purchased this vehicle in California, that's why you don't see any rust. I'm in Michigan, and Michigan is very well known for vehicles rusting. So I purchased my vehicles out of state because I don't like rust. I'm sure nobody else does too. Visually, everything's looking good. That's where that went. I was wondering where that went to. But also I'm raised up the vehicle because I got to drain fluids out of the radiator. which I think isn't a problem. So I think the radiator is drained out already. But so far, not as much damage as I thought there was going to be. That's bent there, which I know about. Can get off some of these covers. Expose more parts. But so far everything's looking pretty good. Yeah, I don't have to drain any fluids, I believe. Yeah, let's take a look underneath more of the vehicle. Very clean vehicle. Believe it's got 65,000 miles on it for 2016 and looks really good. The rear differential is rear wheel drive. It's got 3.6 liter twin turbo V6, and this is why I love vehicles out of the snow belt. Gonna have to touch that up and I'll do the rims again. But there's no rust, no leaking, no damage. Everything looks pretty straight. Even the exhaust system looks in good condition. So what I've purchased here is just about to hook up the machine to remove the refrigerant from the car. And I'm noticing, is that a pinhole right there? If that's a pinhole, that means that there's no refrigerant in the system. That means I've been waiting for this machine for nothing. Don't get me wrong, I did order the wrong hose. Not really my fault, but I ordered the wrong hose, which I'm waiting for it for tomorrow. But if that's the case, then I didn't need to buy the machine. But I can use that machine for other vehicles on my channel. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell to see what kind of other vehicles I get to repair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up my pump to see if it pulls any kind of vacuum. And with these handy dandy fancy dials, this will be able to tell me if there is any pressure that holds or anything like that. So fingers crossed, in a good way, I guess. Stay tuned. Okay, I've got the high side and the low side on the AC system connected. I'm going to turn on the valves and let's see what the reading says, if there's any refrigerant in the system. Okay, low side is open. Needle didn't move. High side is open. Needle also didn't move, which means that there's no refrigerant in the system. You telling me that I waited a couple of days to receive these machines, that means I don't need to recover any refrigerant, R134A. It's not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing. I just wish that I was able to get a reading so I'd be able to test these new machines out and see how they work. I love working on crash damaged vehicles, seeing how all these new tools work and these machines and how everything operates. It really fascinates me. You did that whole explanation about the machine and there's no refrigerant. Baba? Since there's no R134A refrigerant in the system, you can see I'm removing the lines going to the radiator pack to get this big boy removed.
I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Yeah, oh yeah, the beast back. adrenaline pumping through my veins, can't relax. Original, I am not the same as these cats. I sting them if they never ever mind and they beeswax. I don't ever cap, but I'm wearing like 3 hats. Never been a rat, but I know where the cheese at. You'll never get a trophy cause they all here where we at. You better believe that. When it's all said and done, I'll still be here standing. Never took a loss and it ain't something that I'm planning. I dare you to say something.
Take your time when you're removing the radiator assembly. There's a lot of little hoses, electrical plugs to disconnect, things like that. So take your time. I forgot one little hose. I forgot to disconnect one little hose. There we go. Damn it! Hopefully it's not broken. Ta-da! Of course that falls off now. Of course that falls off. And there we have it, one radiator assembly out. Look how much space you can get now. Wow. You can get all these nuts and bolts. Get a whole brand new radiator assembly. I'm going to order the parts directly from Cadillac. I'm going to get really good prices. I'm surprised that the prices that they actually charge are actually really, really reasonable. There's so many damaged parts, so many tools laying around. But look, bye-bye. The radiator assembly's out. Look at that. That is a 3.6 liter V6 twin turbo. 460 horsepower, I believe. I could be wrong. But that's a lot of space right there, baby. Yeah. So I've removed the radiator assembly. It's sitting right over there with other broken parts. I've got to get OEM part numbers off of them. Contact my local Cadillac dealer, see what kind of prices I can get. Besides that, everything's looking not too bad. There's some damage. Just like this, which I just noticed now. Same as the other side, which I've got to get welded, but that's going to be in future episodes. So guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Keep up to date with this Cadillac. Hit that notification bell when I release new videos on this Cadillac build. And guys, don't forget to leave comments. I greatly appreciate your comments. So take care guys, on the next one. Wow, that rhinoceros really did a bing bang boom on this car.